Let's finish up this header install. The Z-bar does end up hitting right here on the driver's side header. So this lever is going to have to be moved over to about here. I'll probably give it a little bit of an angle so it has a good straight shot to the clutch fork here. So I got the Z-bar out and I cut off the lower arm that goes to the clutch fork. So that was right on the end over here. So I'm going to move it over approximately an inch. I've got a line scribed there, you can't see it on the video, but we'll get it tack welded into that position, and I'm also going to rotate it slightly so the clutch fork rod has a straight shot and it's going to be easier on the bushings and so forth. So I'll get the welder over here, tack that up, and give it a test fit. So I got the arm moved over about an inch and re-welded onto the Z-bar. Got a little bit of a slant to the left too to try to clear the header. Let's size it up there and see how it looks. Tight fit. Get it on that pivot right there, and looks like the bar will clear the header no problem. Getting snagged up on stuff up top, but once I get both pivots in there, the bar is definitely going to clear the header. Hopefully it's not too far over to give me a good throw to the clutch fork here, but we'll see how that sets up afterwards. So now I'll get some paint back on this part I just welded. And when I took it out originally, one of the brass bushings goes in the end here, hit the ground and went God knows where. So I'll get some paint on this while the paint's drying. I'll get on my hands and knees and scour the shop floor looking for that. Better turn up. Okay, the next dilemma would be the alternator. Just pulled the radiator back out. The process of pulling the fan and the fan pulley. But the alternator was supposed to be mounted high up here. I got these brackets for it. Everything worked great, but the back bearing of the alternator, the housing where the bearing is in the back of the alternator, hit the cylinder head. So I was forced to space this bushing out about another 1/4 inch, and all that did was throw the pulley alignment off. So I already took the alternator out once. We reclocked the back of it to get the power leads on this side, and we're going to hang it down low. I can't use this high mount bracket because there's no bolt holes left to put the adjuster bar on down low. So we're going to take that bracket out and modify the generator brackets that came with the engine. Hopefully we can get those to work and support the alternator. Okay, so here's the plan. I've got the original top generator bracket. That's how it was installed on the old water pump. The old water pump, this boss back here wasn't recessed, it was flush, so I've got a bolt in there, and I'm going to use this old, it's part of some kind of tonneau cover adjuster. So I'm just going to take this piece here, cut it off to make a nice clean spacer, and just have to find out, if I take a bolt out of this hole, where it ends up on the bracket here. There's already a small hole drilled, but it doesn't line up with the hole in the head. So I'll probably have to drill a hole near it, fit it, and then I'll just lop off this old end here, clean it up, and that'll be good to support the top of the alternator. The old generator adjuster bracket is here. It's got kind of a dog leg to it. I'm not sure how that's going to fit, but worst case I could always use this high mount bracket. Just flip it around and using this lower bolt hole. I'm not sure if I have enough room down there, if it's long enough, but it should work. So let's get this upper bracket cut and drilled and spaced out and get the alternator on there, see how it looks. We've got the alternator hung on that top bracket. I just cut it down, drilled a new hole for the alternator, and it catches the two mounting holes in the water pump. The next step is to get the adjuster in that hole and somehow get it to mesh up with the adjustment tab on the alternator. This original generator bracket had a dog leg. It came down and then jumped over and then back. I just heated the whole thing up and pounded it straight, so it's flat now. But I'm going to have to cut it in half, get the slide adjuster on the alternator, get the other half on the water pump, and then from there join it together, maybe with some new steel. Or maybe I can just put a bird's mouth in this, bend it to the correct angle and weld it up. Well, let's cut it up a little bit and see what we have to work with. Well, here's the finished result. 3 different pieces of a bracket welded together. I gotta get a good test fit on there now and make sure the alternator has plenty of adjustment. But it looks like it's going to work fine. I got the alternator brackets done. Lines up really nicely with the inboard crank pulley and the fan pulley. So I ended up butchering the original equipment generator brackets and making some that work fine. Before I put the radiator back in, get a good look at the brackets. Maybe not the prettiest thing, but definitely is going to work fine. You have plenty of adjustment on the alternator. Full range of motion there, so get a V-belt on there and tighten it up. So that pain in the ass job is done. Get the radiator back in now. I've got the clutch all hooked up with the modified Z-bar down there somewhere. So another step closer. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.